Alright, Beep, let's do this. First thing first, the name, LUI. Secondly, the game. There's the game of bodybuilding, Mr. Olympia 2016. Thirdly, though, the subject is kind of a rant versus Kai Daily Greene. Absolutely a rant out of frustration and out of basically nonsensical questioning about himself yet again. But we will start with the reigning Mr. Olympia. You guys recognize him, Phil Heath. He has that famous poker face, game on, basically beard. Usually when he is in the zone of training, grueling training with his guru slash trainer, Henry Rambod, he has this messed up look. He does not shave and he looks like a hockey player for all intents and purposes. His temper also changes. Last year he was quite active on social media, literally basically fighting with words with some fans, unknown fans, right? He was really intense. God knows, I was busting his testicles last year. You guys remember, he was just chilling outside of a building in Colorado, and one of you snapped a picture of him. He was wearing kind of a gray t-shirt resembling this one, and his gut was not loyal. It was merely breathing. I made a video, bro. Phil Heath has a bubble gut. It went viral like a freaking 100,000 views in like 24 hours or so. And then he said, bro, a brother cannot even take a breath, and he got snapped basically by paparazzis, for God's sake. I was busting his testicles. Anyway, let me take you back to this famous video that he made more or less 2 weeks ago. Right, so let's take a listen real close. I already made a video about it, but look how he thinks basically in this tense period. This was more or less 6 to 7 weeks out of Mr. Olympia, so 2 weeks ago more or less.
What are your thoughts on the Lavroni comeback? Will that have any impact on this year's Olympia? I mean, it's great for him. I'm not going to be an asshole and say that it's not a good thing. I mean, it's his choice. It was the IFBB's choice to allow him to make that comeback. I think it brings great entertainment.
Oh Lord, oh, it brings great entertainment. Do you guys notice how forcefully he tries to stay politically correct? Because he is the crown holder. You know, he is the reigning Mr. Olympia. He needs to represent. You know, he has that stamp on his back, so he needs to stay politically correct. He needs to be kinging as a king, right? But forcefully he tries to not bring his testicles and put them on the screen. Look at my testicles. Look at them, right? So he's absolutely struggling to hold it. And, you know, at the end of the day, he will not hold it that long, trust me. So let's proceed.
For the Olympia lineup, I think it's good for Kevin, man. I mean, he has some unfinished business that he wanted to have. I don't necessarily know what that means, because this title's mine. I think
There we go. He lost it. That title is mine. I don't know what that means, so it doesn't matter if Kevin... Why the hell does Kevin try to come back 13 years after trying to reclaim a title while I am basically the king, right? Proceed, shall we?
you know that. A lot of his fans have come out of the woodwork, but I'll be honest, man, they're very unrealistic.
So you, Kevin Lavroni fans, are unrealistic?
You're definitely putting him above a lot of other great champions. And I'm just gonna keep it real, because that's what we do at the Gifted channel. What do the other guys think? We're talking about like the Cedric McMillans, the Justin Comptons, the Dallas McCarvers. We're talking about my kid Josh over in Australia. What about the William Bonacks? Like, what about those guys? What do you guys think about this shit? Because he ain't stealing my thunder, he's kind of stealing yours. And let's just keep it real. Roland Winkler, Big Ramy, Dexter, Sean Roland, and many others probably have a lot to say about this. As far as me, it don't bother me at all. It's just another person I gotta, I guess, potentially stand next to.
Potentially stand next to? He's not sure that he will stand next to Kevin Lavroni. That potential is quite, quite uncertain, in my opinion.
Line these guys up, I kill them every year.
Line these guys up. I kill them every year. Can he be more straightforward than that? As I said, I mean, more than this, he just need to bring his testicles and show them to you guys, pretty much. Let's proceed, though.
That's just not even talking shit. For all you guys that think I'm out here talking trash, I mean, these are facts, man. I mean, I slay them all down. Line them up, I kill them.
I slay them all down, lie them up, I kill them. You know what? I think he's quite confident, very confident. And as I said, this video is not about him specifically. It's about Kai Greene, and you guys will comprehend why. This is Mr. Olympia, right? I think it is 2013. A lot of people go back to 2011 as being his best version, but even him, when he just made an interview on Flex magazine, he goes back to 2013, and he intends this year to better that version. Right, so he benchmarks himself on 2013, and a lot of guys do that actually. Mysteriously, it's kind of funny. It is kind of funny because 2013, it is exactly a decade after the marvelous version of 2003 of Ronnie Coleman, which is also exactly a decade after the marvelous version of 1993, that of Dorian Yates. It's like every decade we have a milestone of a version, and indeed it's just getting better. Now, needless to say that Phil Heath is smaller than Ronnie Coleman. He will not be able to box with him when it comes to the size. It's just impossible, not physically possible. But then again, he polished some metrics, and for that he needs to be properly saluted. As you guys know, he is narrow upstairs, right? There's no way for him to grow basically the muscle on a sideways, laterally in a sense, but he was able to bring some literally bellies, and he has that U effect. It's not a V, it's just a U effect that basically makes it a lights out pose for him. And the lower section is just proper. He cannot ding his physique. He is secure, right? So this year he's got to come to Las Vegas. Probably he will have a bodyguard, just like last year. He brought a bodyguard, and then he will do battle versus these guys. So this is the first contender, right? Dexter Jackson. He is doing Mr. Olympia since 1926 for all I know, right? Sharp. They call him the Blade, not because he is always ready. He was always prepped. He was always dialed in. But he was also a vampire. He never ages, never deceases. And that's what time it is. Thing is, this year, I think he will be killed by Phil Heath. There's no doubt about it. Next contender in line, Sean Flexitron Roden. His best version was last year. He came in 10 pounds heavier. Granted, his his belly, the lower section underneath the belly button was a little bit prominent. You guys comprehend why? Probably because of some vitamins consumption on one specific, right? That tends to create that. But then again, he was 10 pounds heavier. He was not able to basically to go through Dexter Jackson. So this year, the max he can do is to do battle versus Dexter, and I don't think he will be a menace to the throne of Phil Heath. So he will be slayed indeed. That's why he said with confidence, "I'm gonna slay these guys, line them up." But I think he's right. Right, Big Ramy. Granted, the picture is, I don't know, like 3 months out. I've seen better picture, more prepped, and whatever. But still, I think that Big Ramy does not still have what it takes to claim the title. So even though he has, I don't know, like 100 pounds over Phil Heath, he was not 100, but a solid, I don't know, 75 pounds of raw muscle over Phil Heath. Still not enough to take the throne, so he will be slayed this year. Rolly Winkler, the best year of him ever. This guy will beat Phil Heath in certain poses. Absolutely. I mean, the most muscular pose, he's just raw. He's just invincible in it. You have some crazy, basically, features. The arms are the best in the business and whatnot. But as you guys know, his physique does not flow aesthetically well, right? But so this guy can be a surprise. He can be in the top 3. He can even beat Sean Roden. But can he beat Mr. Olympia? I still do not think so. So Boobander, unfortunately, will be slayed this year as well. Kevin Lavroni, with all due respect, he is, this guy, I respect him. He is a Hall of Famer, IFBB freaking legend. He was in the very era of Dorian Yates, placed second 4 times in Mr. Olympia in 92, in 95, in 2000, and in 2002, as far as I recall, right? So for that, I think he's a record holder, only beaten by Jake. I think that Jake Cutler placed second 5 times. But nonetheless, I just genuinely do not believe that he will beat Phil Heath this year. No. So he will be slayed as well, right? The best version of Victor Martinez, this Dominican machine, just get transformed by the anabolic chicken. Will it be enough to be Mr. Olympia? I still do not think so. So he will be slayed as well. Joshua Koala Lenarowitz, right? Dies to the socks out of a crisp. I mean, he has some Dorian-esque poses, just marvelous. I mean, everything is just proper, and he's young in the game. I mean, this guy 2 years and a half ago, he was like, I don't even lift. But unfortunately, it's not enough to be Mr. Olympia, so he will be slayed as well. Cedric Aesthetic McMillan, the best year of him was this year, right? And he placed second to Kai Daly Greene, right? So of course, this guy he's like a dark sheep in a sense. I don't know what kind of version he brings, because most often, unfortunately, he does not dial in properly. He comes in soft, right? Except this year, would it be enough to dethrone Mr. Olympia? Although he's a lovely boy of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I still think he is not Mr. Olympia material. So he will not knock Phil. Phil will slay Cedric Aesthetic McMillan. William Bonac, Mr. Belize, baby please, from Holland, crazy blocky. He saturates the very poses he does, but then again, we have to agree. I mean, Bonac is still not even top 6 material, right? He can kill Brent Schwarden and the likes, who are the same height for sure. But I mean, he will never be Mr. Olympia. With all due respect, he does not have the metrics. I mean, his back is now wide. He cannot spread these lats, and when he does, the front double biceps looks a little bit more arm dominant. So of course he will go to him, right? Dallas McCarver, 24 years old, so of course we will not give him Mr. Olympia. Although he can pull a trick this year and get in the top 4 just like that, because the last pictures that we saw of him, 299 already granity, already hard. But let's be realistic. I don't think he will create a crazy wave like 2001 version of Jay Cutler, where basically Mr. Olympia of that time, Ronnie Coleman, was a little bit weak, right? I don't think that the top 3 guys will be weak this year, so he can be in top 4. I don't know, he can be in the mix, but still not Mr. Olympia, right? Same goes with Nathan Diasha. Now Nathan, for anywhere, this dude is technically training seriously since 9 months. He was a gym rat in the UK. I think he was in Liverpool. And some people told him, bro, you can be IFBB material. He said, no, you're kidding. So he's training for 9 months. So give him time. He's not out of the oven as of yet. So he will get slayed by Phil Heath, of course. And same goes with Justin Compton. Amazing shape this year. He's 29. He looks 49, but still not out of the oven as of yet. So all these guys technically will be slayed, so he can afford to say that, right? He is massive though. Oops. Kai Daly Greene. This was this year. You know what? Go back in the history of bodybuilding. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger, Robbie Robinson, Al Beckley's, baby please, Boyer Cole, all those flamboyant bicep C's, baby please. I think he smokes them out of the water. He literally does. I mean, we forget how the biceps is a symbolic muscle, because everything is big nowadays. But if you put this biceps of him, the whole combo with the tricep sweep, just marvelous. It is just a caricature of a pose. It is absolutely stupendous. It's like Robbie Robinson on juice, for God's sake. This was this year Arnold Classics, because he won a slew of them. The best version of him ever. It beats the 2012 version. But as far as we see right now, he is not competing. This is why this video is more of a rant. When you bring your very best shape, this is the ex-Mr. Bubble Gut Bonanza. His gut was taking his independence like freaking 4th of July. This year, he fixed it. And look at the wheels. Look at the veins he brought this year. Absolutely pinpoint, absolutely polished, marvelous. Everything flows just well. This version of him, I guarantee you, I swear to you, if he was competing, if he signed the contract, I swear to you guys that Phil Heath will not dare isolate them all. He'll probably say isolate them all except Kai Greene. That will be a hard of a battle. It will be a challenge. This guy will be a hump, actually. He cannot bypass him. He will not put him with the others. It's different. I'm sorry, Phil. This guy is a challenge for you. If he brought this shape, good freaking luck. Even your 2013 version will be challenged by the very metrics that this guy is bringing. Look at the wheels. He's not even flexing, but just good. I mean, he was confident. He was happy. But then again, it is the biggest, it will be like the biggest upset ever. I don't recall any bodybuilder who peaked, who was at the peak of his shape and refused to compete 2 years in a row. It never happened since 2001 when Jay Cutler got mad because he placed second, and then he basically said, bro, I'm not gonna come in 2002. I'm only gonna do the Honor Classics. You know, he paid for that. He paid dearly. And then after that, he placed 4 times second next to Mr. Olympia. They punished him. They punished him, right? Because of that. Because you don't insult the IFBB, right? And pretty much, this is what Kai Greene is doing. How can you justify this? The best shape of your life. I mean, wow. It's just wow. I remember watching the pictures on muscular development, and I was just in awe. Every metric was good. I mean, feathers. I mean, you know, Phil Heath, and he knows that. Phil Heath can never match this. You can go in history. Phil Heath never had feathers and striations in the outer head of that quality. That, I mean, he smokes him. It's just, it is what it is, right? The peak, as I said, the sweep he brings. A lot of metrics. But then again, he is just happy collecting trophies. Baby, please. I mean, even Arnold noticed that. He told him, Kai Greene, you've been winning a lot of trophies lately. He comprehend that Kai Greene this year supposedly is just in for the Honor Classics. He collects the money and he comes back home, and it is kind of a shame. It never happened, as far as I remember from the Lee Haney day. Nobody did this. I mean, you know, Lee Labrada was second quite sometimes. Richard Gaspari was second. Dorian Yates was second in 90, and then he came back and he won. Actually, no, he was second in 91, and then he came back the next year, and sure enough, he won the 92 in Helsinki. Kai, bro, I know that you watch my videos. I'm sorry, man. This year, you had your shot. You had your shots, because inserted like this pose, for instance, the front lat spread. Phil Heath is narrow upstairs, and from the front, he just cannot spread it well. His arms look humongous, whatever he does. He has some huge arms. So it will cover, these arms cover the lats. So you spread it better, yet you don't compete. You have so many metrics that he cannot beat you in. I mean, certain poses, even if the judges are biased, it will be so obvious. You were close in 2012. Granted, but this year your version is just marvelous. Even the crab pose, which was mediocre in previous years, you fixed it. That means you listen. Side chest, it's just amazing, right? So that's what's up. It is out of frustration. This is probably the only weak pose that Phil Heath is untouchable in. The back lat spread, I think he will lose Kai Greene, but all the rest, he's toe to toe, and certain poses he can absolutely beat Phil Heath. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But then again, he is just happy collecting trophies. Baby, please. Remember when he made this interview with Doherty? I mean, it was like freaking Shakespeare, Othello combined with freaking, I don't know, like Romeo and Juliet, Don Juan de Marco, for God's sake. That's what's up. Kai Greene, for this, I'm sorry, man. I cannot salute you, even though you have some alien feet that are absolutely properly displayed and saluted. But it will go in history that some guy brought a marvelous physique. He destroyed, he get rid of his bubble gut, and then all he does is just collecting trophies next to Doherty and Bev Francis, baby please. Not to be saluted. Dearie me, look at this. This is not even edited. This is him. He was this year. And this is a sight that would have been frightening to Phil Heath. I guarantee you that Phil Heath would have been less cocky if he knew that this guy was stepping in, doing battle versus him. Kai Greene, I just cannot salute you this year. You're doing something historically never seen before. And your fans, I don't know how they will pardon you, because I don't know. Not saluted. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Salute me and tell me what you guys think about it. Do not be fanboys. Do you think that genuinely, I'm serious, I think that genuinely this year Kai Greene would have had the best shot of his life to be Mr. Olympia? As far as I see it, if he's retrieving completely, well, first of all, IFBB will not pardon him that he did it twice in a row, 2 years in a row, and this will actually solidify the dream of Phil Heath of collecting another 5 Sandow's. This guy wants to collect 10 Sandow's, guys. It's a lot, but there's no competition coming yet. That's what's up. Salute you wherever you is. Don't forget to like this video, baby, please.